Go to zbiotics.com/LockedOnNFL to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use the promo code LockedOnNFL at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Head to zbiotics.com/LockedOnNFL and use promo code LockedOnNFL at checkout for 15% off. Bull, I think at this point, most people believe what the Cavaliers have done at 15-0 is truly 100% legitimate. But there are still a few people out there.
Who?
Nameless guys and women, pundits, who are still comparing this Cavaliers team to the 2015-2016 Hawks, which got out to a great start, won 60 games, but didn't have playoff success, and some other teams in previous years that have had good regular seasons but not sustainable in the playoffs. And obviously, we don't know the Cavs' playoff fate yet. But is anything about this 15-0 start in your mind fluky, or is this 100% legit?
I mean, personally, I understand why somebody would feel that way, especially if you're not watching the Cavs play every day, because the Cavs were a good team last year, but they didn't seem special in any way. And they barely beat the Magic, who were a first-time playoff team, and then got eliminated in – did we get swept by the Celtics or five? I can't remember. Five by the Celtics. So there was no reason coming into this year to think the Cavs were going to be some great team. None of us thought they were going to be some great team coming into this year. So I understand why some people might think there's some level of flukiness. Now, ultimately, you got to be a really good team to win 15 in a row. Not many teams have done it in the history of the sport. Even that Hawks team, which did have a great regular season, what'd they win? 60? What'd they win that year?
They won 60-22.
Didn't LeBron beat them in the conference finals, or was it the first round they lost?
No, they were the 1 seed, so it was the second round of conference finals.
Right. So they made it to the conference finals. But yes, I remember that year. I don't know about you guys, thinking that they were a fraud. I thought that Hawks team was a fraud. Now, I didn't watch them play, so I don't know how good they looked during the regular season. How often was I watching the Hawks play that year? But, so maybe it's an unfair comparison. I just watched the way the Cavs have played offense this year, and they have been so overwhelmingly good on offense from the start of the year till now that I just can't see it being a fluke. Now, does that mean they're not? I don't know. Like, they could lose in the second round of the playoffs, and we're all going to be like, what a waste that was. I don't know. We won't know for sure until they get, to the playoffs and do what they do there. But I think there's a 98% chance this is not a fluke.
Well, I know it's not fluky because it's got Bull watching regular season
games. That's true. Locked in for regular season games.
The meaningless regular season that Boy has talked about for 2 years.
Yes.
He's locked in, so there's no way that this is fluke. No, I just think that the way that they're playing right now, it's nothing you can really do to stop it. We always reference to when Draymond talked about it, like making that extra pass. It is something that even on a good defender, like you can't recover from it. If somebody oversteps and he makes the extra pass, like you can't do nothing about it, and guys is knocking down these shots. So to me, I don't understand how you can consider that to be fluke. Now, the thing that impresses me the most is when any game that the Cavs have had this year where it was like a good opponent, like for example, I think the two people go to is the Lakers and the Warriors. Those were the two games. The Cavs handle business against both of them. So it's like they get up for these games. It's like they take it to a whole nother level when you get into a big time game. So I don't understand how you can think that that's fluke. If they for the most part, they playing on a level, but when they play in a big game, they take it even above that level. So it's like,
I don't know, but I think for the small percentage of people that think it's a fluke, and my guess is at this point it's a very small percentage. Tonight would end that completely if they win.
Yeah, like tonight puts an end to that. They would have to pivot and say, well, did the Celtics really care?
Yeah. Oh, I bet you. Oh, yeah. That would be nonsense.
I mean, they've already been there, done that. They're trying to
rest their guys. It's in Boston. They care.
And they want to end this winning streak.
You know good and well, obviously, especially when guys in the NBA, good versus good, they want to show out, especially on national TV. But I take it a little bit to this place. In McNuggets, you play ball, and Tyvis obviously played ball at the the highest level. So can you guys remember a time where before you got to where you were going, right? And maybe you were unproven or no one knew who you were, and you have been putting work in, and you're like, man, like even for yourself, you didn't really kind of see the dividends, and all of a sudden one day you woke up and was like, oh, I get it. I totally understand. Oh, so I could have been doing, like, it's this moment of clarity. I could have been doing that. Now you can get to your spots. You like Tyvis looking around like, I already know what you're going to run. I've been watching film.
Yeah.
And then you've been putting the work in, and now you just on autopilot. You in physical shape, so now you done put that work in, so now you getting there quicker.
You know what that's called? When you get that realization, you become un-F-wittable. That's what that is.
You know, for some reason, while you were saying that, I was thinking about how the first time I called a college basketball game to play-by-play,
right?
Tyvis was not even born yet.
That was crazy.
That's what you thought about.
I don't know why that popped in my head.
Well, see,
what year were you born again?
94.
Oh, no, you were 2. Sorry. 96 is the first time I called the game.
But even with that, you say that, Bull, like,
yeah.
Anthony wasn't born.
Anthony wasn't born. You guys were babies.
When you doing, like, say, for instance, you've been doing radio, you've been doing, you know what I'm saying, you've been doing play-by-play.
Yeah.
And then, this was a new space where it's like, okay, I'm on camera all the time.
Yeah.
And then you do it and you do it. And then there's that one show that you have, you be like, I know what the hell I'm doing. Right. It's easy money. I'm comfortable. When you get to that point, it's all downhill from there, because now you believe it and there's a point of no return. Like you never go back to feeling uncomfortable. You never go back, Tyvis, to being like, oh my gosh, we're playing Penn State this week. You're like, so what, bro?
That's right.
Like, it don't matter. I'm gonna do this regardless. And I think the Cavs have gotten to a point where Evan Mobley is like, yeah, y'all been waiting for the unicorn. This is how I play. I'm not going back. Darius Garland like, yeah, y'all should have caught me. You should have killed me last year. You almost had me up out of here, but guess what? Now I'm back. And Donovan Mitchell like, man, look, man, it's our time. And when it's your time, like, you can look at people in a different way, and you got that level of confidence. Like, all right, well, we may lose this game, but you got to see us.
To your point earlier, Tyvis, you mentioned that your storyline tonight was wanting to see if Evan Mobley is still that guy against Boston. I feel like if he is still that guy, I think, which we're all expecting him to be against Boston, after today, to your point, we're never going to really think about that again.
No.
Maybe in the playoffs, I don't know, but like if he passes the test tonight in Boston,
he answered the question.
That's the biggest test he's going to get in the regular season. So there'll be no reason to question it after today, as long as he does it.
And like McNugget said, it's a make or miss league, right? So Evan Mobley may miss shots, right? Darius Garland may miss some shots, right? And okay, that's just what happens sometimes. But the way that they go about their business, the demeanor, the way they play, the style, the aggressiveness level, even if they lose tonight and he goes in there and Evan Mobley looks like the best player on the court, I'm going to come away in this game excited, because I'm like, we just missed shots, man. It's 15. Let's start a new streak. But I'm not going to be worried about Evan Mobley reverting back to sitting in the corner waiting for the ball. Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to fluky, when I think of that term in sports, I always go back to that Steelers team a few years ago that started like 13-1.
Right.
And they had won all these games, and even the Chiefs to an extent this year, but they have the championship pedigree that, although what they've done this year is fluky, I don't consider them flukes. I go back to that Steelers team that was 13-1, that they just completely unraveled down the stretch.
They felt like a complete fraud.
It did. And when you watched it, you couldn't necessarily explain how the results they were getting was the result they were getting. It's like when you take a math test and you get to the right answer, but all your work beforehand is wrong. You just happen to luck into the right answer.
Man, that's a beautiful thing when it happens.
When you watch the Cavs play, and I think to your point, Paul, the people who still say they're flukes are the ones who haven't seen them play yet, because they haven't really had nationally televised games. Nothing they're doing offensively is fluky. Now, can they shoot 45% from 3 all season? It's probably going to go down a little bit, but they have really good shooters. And Kenny Atkinson says he loves their shot quality. It's the process over the result. The process is right instead of they're just going to miss shots.
Where did you say they were in terms of open looks? Third?
In terms of wide open threes, according to NBA tracking data, they're in the top 5.
Okay.
Now, they were mid of the pack last year. They're top 5 this year. The Thunder and, ironically, the Hornets, but they take so many threes. A lot of them are just open based off pure volume. But nothing about how they're doing and scoring offensively or how they're containing teams and corralling primary ball handlers from a defensive side is fluky. But if you're not watching, I can see how the outside perspective based on your preseason expectations make you say, well, maybe they're not that good.
And in my opinion,
watch them play for 2 minutes,
yeah,
they're going to prove you wrong.
And in my opinion, the only guy you could argue is severely overachieving is Ty Jerome.
If you had sold your Evan Mobley stock,
right? But
then maybe. But Ty Jerome's
I
the
think
only guy
everybody
out of
thought
nowhere.
this was possible with Evan Mobley.
Yeah, Jerome's the only guy out of nowhere to be playing at the level.
Right? I mean, who else? Like, yeah, Darius is having a great season, but he's had great seasons before. Mobley, yeah, it's his first great season offensively, but most people thought he was capable of
Sam
this.
Merrill on defense.
That's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
he's taking a step.
Yeah, I mean, but he's, you know, I don't know. I don't think that's crazy. That's effort, right? I mean, ultimately,
A lot of it's effort, yeah.
A lot of it's effort.
And a lot of it's having the benefit of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley behind you. So if you do gamble and get a little more aggressive.
We just called Sam Merrill a buttoned-up deli, right?
This is what I don't understand, though.
Yeah.
Help me understand this one, because Sam Merrill's defense improved this year, but JB specialized in playing hard defense.
I can tell you exactly why, Ty.
Go ahead. Tell us why.
And this is a team thing. And Jared Allen said this after who they play on Friday, but the game before Friday. They played the Bulls on Friday. Who was the game before that?
New Orleans?
Hornets?
Sixers.
Sixers?
Oh,
It was,
yeah,
it was after the Sixers game.
Yeah.
They asked Jared Allen, and I think Fedor asked the question. It was a road game. How much fun are you having playing this year as opposed to previous years?
Right.
And Jared said, in this offense, we all get touches.
Yep.
And when we get touches, we all play harder on defense. The game's more fun. We're all more bought in. We know that if I do what I'm supposed to do, and in Jared's case, that's set screens, be in the right place, I'm going to get the ball, and at the end of the day, every basketball player wants to score, right, Ty? Like that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So when you're in an offensive system where everyone's involved, everyone's touching the ball, you're going to play that much harder on defense because you know we get a stop, we get the ball back, I'm going to get a chance to take a shot. That was always my biggest criticism with Russell Westbrook. Like, you have dudes running around for 22 seconds on the shot clock. You just keep dribbling. Like, that's a very hard player to play with, and that's why he didn't work with so many other good players. Right now, even if it's just an extra 3-4 touches a game for Sam Merrill, I think he's given that little extra effort on defense, and when you're a guy like Sam Merrill who has some physical limitations, sometimes that 3 or 4% increase in effort on the defensive end of the court can lead to some massive results, especially early in the regular season.
Man, I used to hate that, man.
Touch the appeal.
Man, it'd be like, look, man, like you got these guards, man, and the guards always, their dad was always the coach. And you'd be like, little Jeremy sucks. And you suck as a coach. You talking about, our big guys aren't blocking out. No, Jeremy is getting took to the rack. And then weak side help is just coming in, and I'm getting boarded all over.
That sounds personal.
No, it's really personal. Shout out to little Jeremy and his dad. You know what I'm saying?
Screw you, Jeremy.
Listen.
You suck, Jeremy.
And then he dribbling.
You were fraud. Jeremy, your whole
What's Jeremy
career,
doing now?
His whole amateur career was fluky.
Super fluky, bro.
Where is he? What's he doing now?
Listen, he never made it, bro. He played. Listen, McNuggets took his minutes. You know, he was. You know, one of them small guards. He was like 6'2". And then he didn't grow no more. And then I was like, bro, you doing all these AAU games. You still 6'2", bro. You small, bro. You not going nowhere. You might get this NAIA love.
So he was handling the rock, right?
Man,
he might get some Division III action.
If you wait, he was one of them kids that grew tall early?
Yeah, he was like 6'2", like.
Oh, well, he should have been. His dad should have been telling him to dribble that rock.
He was 6'2" early. I'm
6'2". Mike's 5'3". I mean, you know,
we had
Bugsy Bugs.
We had two dudes. The dude Jeremy. And a dude named Tree, a.k.a. his name was Tree because he was that tall.
Yeah.
He played for this, in middle school, or excuse me, elementary school, he played for this team named Allen. So his name was Rodney Donald. And this dude, people used to pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up on this dude. Like in the gym. Like the gym was packed. Like it was non-relatives coming to watch this guy named Tree. Man, I'm like, bro, this dude was grabbing a rebound, taking it coast to coast. He was pinning on people. He could touch the backboard when he was like in 5th grade. They're like, he going to the league. They thought he was LeBron. Man, long story short, you know, the city kind of big. We got a bunch of elementary schools. Fast forward 4 years. We playing JV basketball like when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I get there, and we looking around. They're like, yeah, there go Tree right there. Tree was like 6'3".
Yeah,
I'm looking down at Tree like, this is Tree, and he had to keep the nickname. Like, I said, you're a shrub. You're a shrub. You're a shrub, dog. Like, you don't, like, they had, I mean, he was like, never grew an inch.
Was he still playing big man?
Oh, no, he was out the perimeter. Okay. He was one of them, he was one of the big dudes that couldn't shoot, like, or dribble, like, no more. But he was a small guard.
You guys, I don't know. Are you old enough for Muggsy Bogues? Did you see Muggsy Bogues play?
Yeah.
Do you know about Muggsy Bogues?
He was in Space Jam.
Yep.
Dude, like, Mike, as a short basketball player, you should appreciate, like, what Muggsy Bogues did in the NBA.
We had posters of Muggsy Bogues in our dorm room.
How tall was he? 5'6"?
How tall was
5'3".
Spud Webb?
He wasn't 5'3". Yeah, but Spud Webb was a nice player, but he wasn't Muggsy. Muggsy Bogues was like an all-star.
How Muggsy Bogues was for you?
Muggsy Bogues was 5'3".
How Muggsy?
I thought he was 5'7".
How Muggsy Bogues
me look like
was
a
to
giant.
y'all
Yeah.
is like how Nate Robinson or Isaiah Thomas was.
Yeah, but
to me.
Muggsy Bogues was like, he was an all-star, wasn't he?
Nate Robinson dunked over Dwight Howard to win the dunk contest.
So Earl,
Somebody need to donate that
Spud-
man a kidney too.
Spud Webb was dunking two-hand, which
Yeah.
was ridiculous to me. It just made me feel bad because I couldn't touch the rim when I was younger. Then you had Earl Boykin. Earl Boykins was a small guard. So
I feel like Bogues was the best.
Is
of the
it
small
Earl
guys.
from Cleveland? Earl Boykins?
Is that a fact?
I think didn't he go to East?
How tall was Nate Robinson? He wasn't that short,
He
was
was
he?
5'9".
5'9".
Yeah, that's a big difference.
So
Earl Boykins was 5'5", and yeah, he's from Cleveland. Went to Central Catholic.
that's wild. McNuggets, you need to do a top
What was
5.
Muggsy Bogues' best season, Mike? Like, what did he have? Did he average a lot of assists and steals and stuff?
In the 2006 season, Muggsy Bogues averaged 15.2 points per game, 4.3 assists. His career high in assists was 4.5. He did that twice, once in Milwaukee, once in Denver. For his career, 8.9 points, 3.2 assists per game, and shout out to 1.3 rebounds per game, despite being 5'5".
Yeah. Muggsy Bogues,
It was a kid that I was on like Ball is Life. His name was Akil Carr, I think his name was.
Filthiest mixtape ever.
Bruh, the best high school highlight tape I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, he like short, but
What happened to him?
5'3".
He went like D3.
He went. He ended up playing 1 year D1, then transferred D3. He's made a lot of money overseas. He's
The
doing
dude,
really well.
glass and stuff.
Crazy bounce.
2 hands.
Speaking
Boom.
of
Mike, you
crazy
gotta